I'd like to call the open session. The open session is now open because I couldn't think of a better word. If you will stand so that we can say pledge allegiance to the flag.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. LaWanda. Do we have public comments? Okay, our speakers.
We would like to thank the board for letting us speak today. Thank you to Mr. Byram for coming to our last Arts Department meeting. We appreciate all the other board members who sent us emails to let us know they were not available to come, but express their support. We have a few good news items we would like to share. Central Middle School's concert band performed for the state music adjudication performance on March 19th for the first time in the history of Gates County Schools. They received an excellent rating on their stage performance and a superior rating in sight reading. David Zumbrennen and Serena Ephart came to T.S. Cooper through an arts grant this past week to present a play about the Wright brothers to students in grades 2 through 5. Additionally, they worked with students in 4th grade for 2 days as an extension to their curriculum on dramatic elements and the presentation of a play. K-5 students at Gatesville Elementary School presented a music program on March 28th. And Tricia Lewis displayed student artwork at all elementary schools during her rotations. We have included all of the upcoming arts events in a handout for you. Our next arts meeting is located at the top of the handout in bold, and we would love to have all of you attend. At the last meeting, we as a department requested to be included in discussions regarding the arts. We expressed concern about having open communication, accountability, and transparency. We presented a reasonable solution to this issue with a possible arts liaison and an open invitation to our monthly meetings. Since that time, we have been made aware of significant changes to our positions at the middle and high school levels. The arts teachers were not consulted or included in discussions about these decisions, despite all Board of Education members and central office leadership being present for our presentation last month. Our question is, who do we talk to in order for our concerns to be considered? We are asking to be included, respected as professionals, and valued for our contributions to Gates County Schools. So who do we speak with in order for our concerns to be considered? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Do we have anyone else to make public comments this evening? Okay. Oh.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
What is the the online internet access for TS Cooper? The password.
Ms. Levy is gonna get it.
It's right
I
behind.
got you. Thank you.
Lady, you got the floor.
Good evening, board members. My name is Cindy Jefferson. This is Deborah Smith with the 2 senior bus drivers in the county. We've come with concerns about the policy being changed of us only getting paid once a month. Some of the larger counties for 24-25 school years, like Wake County, Currituck County, Northampton Public Schools, are still going to twice a month. A lot of our bus drivers are single parents. They are used to getting paid twice a month. We've gotten paid for 20 years, twice a month. It is very difficult to say we're gonna get paid on the 20th of the month. And you have bills that are already set that come specifically out of your check each month on the 15th or the 31st. It's hard to change some of the drafts, very much so. We're asking that the school board please take this matter into serious consideration, because we don't get paid enough as it is. I love you all, but we don't. We are currently not making enough money. The 24-25 school year has been difficult this year. We were supposed to have 23 drivers. We have a total of 16 drivers, with 3 of those being sub-drivers. So you have 13 full-time drivers, that's it. We run doubles, we run extra children, we do what we need to do. A lot of drivers are really upset about it. Some are talking about quitting, that's not a good thing. Y'all are gonna be in a world of trouble if that happens, and I'm not threatening. It's just hard for us, the senior drivers, and you have half of your school bus drivers here tonight representing us. We have 8 drivers, 9 drivers here tonight, and we have a grand total of 13 drivers in the county, full-time drivers. Some of us are rolling by 10 minutes, 40 to 6 in the morning. Some of us don't get back to school till 5:30 or after every night. We're just asking for y'all to consider letting us stay getting paid twice a month. Because it is very hard to budget. When you know you're only getting paid once a month, it's hard to budget if you're the only one working in your household. Very hard. You don't want to come home with your water turned off or your lights turned off or an eviction notice, because then that starts another set of problems. We won't be able to work. And I don't want to see any of our drivers quit. We love our jobs. I love my children. I love my job. I've been doing it for 34 years. Deborah Smith's been doing it 39, 37 years. That's a lot of years standing here. We just ask that y'all please consider changing it and leaving it to where we get paid twice a month. That's all we ask. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any more public comments? Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda for April 15th.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I need a second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? The agenda for April 15th is approved. I also need an approval of the minutes. I need this motion to cover the March 11th, 2024 minutes and the March 29th, 2024 business minutes. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, the motion is to approve the March 11th, 2024 and the March 29th, 2024 business minutes. All those in favor say aye. All opposed?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'd like the record to show that I approved item March the 11th minutes, but I was not in attendance to March 20th.
Okay. Dr. Williams. Your superintendent, did I miss something? He's frowning. Oh, with a frown. I'm sorry. The floor is yours.
For my superintendent update, on March the 23rd, it was really good to come out here in this school and see the dedication to a principal, Mr. Thomas Settle Cooper. School was named after. I appreciate the leadership from Mr. Benjamin Saunders for the work to recognize Mr. Cooper. We placed a historical marker out here in front of the school. And I think that is just one powerful way to commemorate the important history of the school. You know, that's going to stand as a testament to the resilience and strength of the students, teachers, administrators, and the community members who have passed through these halls of the school. I'm excited that the historical marker will ensure that the legacy of the school is properly recognized and honored. And I'm also really excited that being part of this continuing legacy of the school, I was able to secure funding to make necessary upgrades and renovations to the school to ensure that the school remains in place where our students can learn and grow for many years to come, in a place with rich educational history. And thank you for continuing improvement. Just love you, Roscoe. You do a good job here as principal at TS. Wastewater plants, I crafted some letters to the county for full support of the elementary school wastewater projects. Without this support, the projects will not move forward. Project manager Barry Parks out of Greensboro, out of Wilson, North Carolina, excuse me, believes that the outreach from the school superintendent to the county is going to send a positive message, and that's going to seek state support for funding for our wastewater funding. With the North Carolina School Superintendents Association, this right here, all it has to do with General Assembly. The short session opens on April 24th. The bill filing ends on April 15th. Bill filing ends April 15th. Told that revenues will be very flat, which indicates there will likely not be a lot of expansion of new items. The projects that the NCASA sees that are going to move forward may be a little difficult this year. That includes the principal pay proposal, but they're hoping that's not the case. The weighted EC funding proposal and the added compensation increase that was built into the budget for the second year. Other developments, there's further discussion in the leadership of the General Assembly about expanding the opportunity scholarships. This right here is vouchers. There were 72,000 applications by March 1st, and right now 13,000 families have been notified that they received this scholarship. So Speaker Tim Moore and Senator Berger are having the same mindset of this right here. And they tend to support everyone who is seeking a voucher, and they need to look at putting more funding into them. What that does, that's very concerning for the public schools, especially since the revenues are flat. So we got flat revenues. How can they expect vouchers to be put in there? And Governor Cooper is on board with this. He's on his statewide tour. He told me specifically that he was going to come to Gates County. He's already sent out a webinar for supporting public education, issuing a call to action for those that value public schools and stand up against vouchers and band together to support public schools. In the report from the board, Mr. Felton may expand on this, but there was a technical correction in our construction at the high school, which we'll start seeing some work being done in the summer, and it has to do with the water lines. The pressure from the 6-inch line, and we need a 12-inch line, and so the county is going to take care of that for us to make sure it can accommodate the water flow. Other than that, $342 million were sent out to schools in North Carolina just recently, and the North Carolina communities that needed the much help for building new schools and adding new construction, renovations and repair is out of the lottery. And so this was put in the NC. Big congratulations go out to both Bertie, Burke, Columbus, Gates, Lenore, Macon, Nash, Randolph, and Surrey counties. So those are 10 counties that received grants. The grants we received was for Buckland and for this school right here to put on a new roof, brand new HVAC, energy efficient windows, plumbing, carpet at Buckland Elementary School. Anything that we need that we can put in our schools, I think is extremely important. Where I came from, it's the same exact, it's a duplicate of where we're at right here, right now. I come from a family of small schools, small communities, and working together for the benefit for one another, and teachers helping teachers, and bus drivers helping bus drivers. You know what? That's not your job. That's just the way of life, and that's how small communities survive. So I appreciate everything. Appreciate you coming to the Board of Education, and I appreciate all the bus drivers. We can't get it done without you. It's just impossible. I appreciate the arts department for being here, coming up and addressing the school board. Questions will be answered to you. This right here was public comment, it's not public response. I got 5 good board members that will do everything they can in their power to help every employee get STEM schools. So, that all being said, that's my superintendent's report.
Now,
Good evening, board chair, board members, Dr. Williams. In front of you, you have your March board summary report. At the top, we have our state funds for the year hitting at 75% of expenditures. This is on fourth, projected. Our local funds are doing well at 63%. Our federal funds are 67.67, which consists of ESSER, which ends on September 30th this year. Our capital outlay is at 92%. The other number you see up there is the school bus expenditure line that has to be budgeted. Child nutrition is at 80%. Daycare is right at 77%, and community center is 77% as well. And our restricted local is right up under 60%, 59%. Do you have any questions?
does anyone have any questions for Mr. Harrell?
You comfortable about? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Harrell.
Thank you.
Let's start down there with Mr. Barron for the board updates.
Yes, I did attend the Cooper celebration for the historical mall. It was very good, excellent speech. The people who attended and were asked to speak, I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot because I never knew Mr. Cooper's name, and I learned what his name was. Also, I attended the arts meeting, and I want to say as a board member only, I'm speaking for myself, I'm truly an advocate for the arts department because I believe arts are very important in education. And I believe that students have succeeded very well in the arts department. I also attended the Senator Davis, who came for the community meeting. It was very well attended. He did a great job. And I asked that you reach out to him for any questions that you have, any support. He's very willing to listen. It is Senator Don Davis. I enjoyed meeting him and meeting his staff.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see everyone. I want to say thank you all for being out here, and also want to say thank you for not having everything that you want, but you're yet still working, and yet educating our children. And that's a wonderful thing. Even to the bus drivers that are sitting out there, I drove bus back in high school. So that's been a long time ago. But thank you all for what you do in the midst of the shortage of jobs. You all are hanging in there with us. I was also out here with the history marker for Mr. Thomas Settle Cooper. I think is his name, and it really was a blessing to be able to finally find out what TS stood for, and the workers and all the people that spoke did a great job. I want to say I'm grateful to our departments as a whole. You know, anyway, we may not get everything we would want, but you all are doing a great job. I just want to leave it like that. Keep on pressing on. Thank you very much.
And first thing I want to address is your bus drivers. Ms. Smith, I think you called me one night, babe. 35, 40 years ago. Maybe it was a different Ms. Smith. But I remember saying that it won't look the same way next time you see it. It's a shame we don't have that support from parents now. I came to the historical marker, and then Mr. Cooper did an amazing job for Gates County. didn't matter whether you were black or white, when you really get into it, it made a tremendous difference for Gates County. We have failed to thank the Gates County Historical Society for their work in getting that marker established. It was them that made it happen. So we just need to acknowledge the Gates County Historical Society was behind that mark. John Davis did a fantastic job of informing us of what's going on. I was most impressed. He knows what's happening. It means a whole lot for him to represent. I also had a tour with Senator Bud. He came down and Bill Ward was in that group, and we toured the Ashton Lewis Sawmill. And that was a very impressive tour when you consider that they've got narrow boards going from floors and walls across this country and Europe, but also got some thick boards, 5 quarters, what we would call, which is 1 1/4 inch. And they're nice wide boards, and they get made into caskets in Italy. And they've had some pictures of it. That was really, really interesting. Because I know what pine does when you work it. It messes up drill bits, it messes up saw blades, and for rattle bits to do the work they were doing. I don't know how to keep them going. But that was very interesting, and it helps put Gates County on the map. They get the head of the commissioners are taking money that's been given by the government, and they go on a 12-inch line from Easton's Crossroads to Gatesville to the sawmill. And that's gonna help the school because the technical review committee decided that the school needs an 8-inch hydrant, and I think that's in the back. And we only have a 6-inch line out front, so it won't supply enough water to supply the hydrant. So I think what we're gonna end up doing is running an 8-inch line from the road to the back now, even though it might be a year more before the 12-inch line is put in. And then we won't have to dig up fresh asphalt to get that hydrant hooked up with the 8-inch hydrant as it should be. So, and the last thing is we're hoping to have a May start on construction at the high school. Thank y'all for being here.
Good evening, everybody. I want to take the time to say thank you to the bus drivers and the arts department for coming out. It's really nice to see people come to the meeting and talk and do public comments. And thank you for the schedule for the arts department. That's so helpful. We don't always get the end of school year. Well, sometimes we don't always get a calendar. So to know the events for certain things is really helpful. Since the last meeting, I participated in the Shamrock Half Marathon Weekend out in Virginia Beach. And one of those days, they actually had local schools there doing the final mile. I think it would be wonderful if our community could get involved with that. Don't have to be a runner. It's just something about the kids getting out there and having that excitement out there with the crowd and get a medal and all that fun stuff. Still coaching with Girls on the Run. Missed today's practice, so let me say it. I'm excited for the upcoming field trip with T.S. Cooper's kindergarten class to the zoo. It should be fun. Tonight, I actually found out, I have a contact to share with Chief Howard for the Special Programs Department at Little Creek to see if we can get some contact for them to go and be able to tour the upper crafts there at Little Creek. And then lastly, I want to invite everybody to the season 6 production of Dance to the Seasons for the dance studio. It's June 22nd at 6 p.m. at COA.
On April the 11th, we had a work session at the Mill Pond. At this work session, we began discussing a system-wide, district-wide cell phone policy. Many of our principals are having a tough time with that disturbing the instructional time. So we started early. Mr. Wright is going to get us lots of good information. And we have not met with the principals, but we will be meeting with the principals to find out what their feelings are. And we will do that during the summer. So that what we would like to do is have a very clear and concise district-wide policy for elementary through the high school in place for the beginning of the new school year. Cross your fingers. It won't be easy. Wanted to also say that at the end of March, the very end, the 28th and 29th, we had a person come in to do master board training with us, and she was wonderful. She was like 73 and knew everything in the world to know, and I felt like, okay, girlfriend, we're the same age, but she was much more spry than I was. But she had just worked in the field all that time, and she was interesting. She kept us all engaged. Made us really talk probably more than we were comfortable talking, but it was very nice to have that. And we will finish up that master board training sometime during the summer. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting the people who spoke from their department tonight. And just know that we're going to try to do what's best for our students, and right in line with that is what is best for our teachers. So don't give up on us. Okay? All right. I need to be better organized. I need a motion for the approval of the superintendent's personnel recommendation and reports from the closed session agenda with the addition of the name added to bullet 3. Do I have a motion? 1 through 7.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations and reports from closed session, items 1 through 7.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carried. I need a motion for the approval of the business consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I move with approve the consent agenda items 1 through 5.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item for business on here is to set a date, time, and location for our May 2024 board meeting. Get your calendars out.
Madam Chair, before we set the motion, don't we have some amendments from Mr. Harold to approve?
Oh. Yes, we do. Forgive me, I'm in your bad stuff anyway. I do, but failed to do that. It is number 8, consent agenda items. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items made by Mr. Stephen Harold.
Madam Chair, make the motion to approve, the budget amendment number 5, number 4, number 4 for special revenue funds, and number 1 for capital outlay funds.
Okay. Okay, do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All the consent agendas were approved. Are we ready now to set the date, time, and place?
Well, second,
Second Monday, May 13th. Closed session beginning at 5, open session beginning at 6. Ms. Lovey Roscoe, will you keep us here one more time?
Sure.
Thank you. Again, thank you for coming. We have to go back into closed session, so I need a motion to approve going back in closed session rather than adjourning.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we go back into closed session.
Second. All opposed?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You didn't ask all those.
All in favor, say aye.
I'm sorry.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all.